Hello everyone, I am Patil AG, Assistant Professor at GEM College, Karan. Today we are going to learn about the Application Development Tool, paper number 2nd. From that unit number 2nd, Exception Handling. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about the concept of structured exception handling mechanism and tracing points. Let's see the contents for the today's lecture. The first is the structured handling mechanism or a structured exception handling mechanism. In the exception handling, there are the two methods. The first one is the unstructured exception handling, and the second is the structured exception handling mechanism. In the structured exception handling mechanism, there are the three ways. The first is the try catch and end try statement. Second statement is a try catch finally end try statement, and third statement is a throw statement. After that, we are going to learn about the tracing points. In the tracing point, the first is the ATOS window, second is the quick watch window, third one is a watch window, and last one is the breakpoint. After the unstructured exception handling mechanism, the next is the structured exception handling mechanism. In the structured exception handling mechanism, it involves the try catch, end try catch, finally end try, and throw keyword. Exceptions are handled using the try catch and finally blocks. The programmer uses these blocks for the checking the exception and catch the exception. Try block contains a code where exception can occur. Catch block catch the exception generated from try block and handle the exception. This is all about the structured exception handling mechanism. Try section. What is try section? The block of code that may result in an exception and always gets executed. What is catch section? The block of code that attempts to act on an exception and is only executed when an exception takes place. What is finally section? The block of code intended to perform any kind of a cleanup operation and always gets executed. The purpose of try-catch block is to allow catching errors and specifying a resolution for them. Let's see the syntax for the try and catch block. Try statements that occurs the exception. Catch object as the exception class type. Statement that handle the exception, and end try. In this syntax, the try, catch, and end try, these are the keywords which are used for that structured exception handling mechanism. Let's see the example for the try catch block. Use the try section to write the code that should be executed and the catch section to catch and act on any errors that may have been generated while executing the code in the try section. The try section of the code always gets executed. However, the catch section of the code will be executed only if an error occurred. Let's see the example of a try-catch block. Module 1 submain dimension int1 is equal to 0, int2 is equal to 1, int3 as integer. Try int3 is equal to int2 divided by int1. System.console.writeline. The answer is curly bracket 0 curly bracket complete double quotation comma int3 bracket complete catch block. Let's see the what is the catch block. System.console.writeline exception arithmetic overflow end try end sub end module. In this example, there are the three variables, and first variable having the value 0, second variable having the value 1, and the integer 3 is equal to integer 2 divided by 1. But the value of an integer 1 is a 0. When you divide a number by 0, then the output is infinity or the overflow. So it's having the in the try block, it's having a error. So the catch block catch the errors and display the statement which is enclosed in the catch block. The statement which is in the block is a exception arithmetic overflow. So the output for this program is the exception arithmetic. The next statement in the structured exception handling mechanism, which is the try catch finally end try. The purpose of the try catch finally block is to allow the executing the protected code under the try section, acting on any errors that may arise in the catch block, and following up with the cleanup code in the finally block. Code under the finally block will be executed regardless of whether an error occurred in the try code block or not. This provides a very convenient way of ensuring that allocated resources are being cleaned up and performing any kind of functionality that needs to take place regardless of the error handling details. Let's see the what is try catch finally end try block. Let's see the syntax for the try catch and final block. Try code to be executed, catch error resolution code, finally clean up the code, and end try. In this statement, the try catch finally, these are the keywords which are used in that sentence. The try and finally sections of the code always get executed. However, the catch section of the code will be executed only if the error occurred. Let's see the example of the try catch finally end try blocks. Module 1 submain dimension int1 is equal to 0, int2 is equal to 1, int3 as integer. Try int3 is equal to int2 divided by int1. System.console.writeLine, the answer is curly bracket 0 double quotation complete comma int3. Catch E as system.overflow exception system.console.writeLine exception arithmetic overflow. Finally, system.console.writeLine exception of a sensitive code is completed. End try, end sub, end module, and the output is exception arithmetic overflow and exception of a sensitive code is completed. In the try block, the code is int3 is equal to int2 divided by int1, but the value of int1 is a 0, so the error got in the try block, and which error is catched by the catch block. So the statement which is enclosed in the catch block will be executed. So the exception, that is arithmetic overflow, this statement will be executed first. After that, the finally block is executed, and the statement which is enclosed in the finally block and which is the exception of a sensitive code is completed. So the statement this statement will be executed after the exception arithmetic overflow statement. So the output of this program is exception arithmetic overflow and the execution of a sensitive code is complete. The next statement in the structured exception handling mechanism, which is the throwing an exception. You can throw an exception yourself in your code by using the throw statement. For the syntax for the throw statement is a throw new array index out of range exception dimension obj as new array index out of range exception. Let's see the example for the throwing an exception. Module 1 submain try. Throw the new application exception. This is a new exception. Catch E as exception system.console.writeLine in bracket e.message end try end sub end module, and the output is this is a new exception. In this example, in the try block, there is a throw exception is used, and the throw in the throw exception, this is a new exception which statement will be used, and which is this exception is displayed in the catch block. So the statement which is written in the throw block, which is displayed as a this is a new exception. This will be output for this program. The next important part in this chapter, which is the tracing points. Let's see, the first tracing point is the quick watch. The quick watch dialog box lets you examine and evaluate variables and expressions. Because the quick watch is a model dialog box, you have to close it before you can continue to debug. You can also edit the value of a variable in a quick watch. In simply, we can say that whenever you want to edit any value of variable, then you can use the quick watch. Let's see the procedure to open the quick watch box or the quick watch dialog box. To open a quick watch dialog box, while in a break mode, choose the quick watch on the debug menu. To open the quick watch dialog box with a variable added, while in a break mode, right click a variable name in the source window name and choose the quick watch. This automatically places the variables into the quick watch dialog box. To add a quick watch expression to the watch window, in the quick watch dialog box, click add watch. Whatever expression was displayed in the quick watch dialog box is added to the list of expression the watch window. If you are using a Visual Studio edition that supports the multiple watch windows, the expression is added to the watch one windows. This is the all about the quick watch dialog. The second is the Atto window. The Atto's window displays a variable used in the current statement and the previous statement. For Visual Basic, it displays the variables in the current statement and three statements on either side of the current statement. The current statement is the statement at the current execution location, the statement that will be executed next if execution continues. The debugger identifies these variables for you automatically, hence the window name. Structured and array variables have a tree control that you can use to display or hide the element. Let's see how to display the Atto windows. To display the Atto windows, first from the debug menu, choose the windows and click Attos. The debugger must be running or in the break mode. To modify the value of a variable in the Attos windows, the debugger must be in a break mode. Display the Attos window if necessary. In the value column, double click the value you want to change or single click to select the line, then press the tab key. Type the new value and press. The next is the watch window. To open the watch window, the debugger must be running or in the break mode. From the debug menu, choose the windows, then watch and click on the watch 1, watch 2, watch 3 or watch 4. You can use the watch window to evaluate the variables and expression and keep the results. You can also use the watch window to edit the value of a variable or register name. In this column, you can type any valid expression recognized by the debugger value. The debugger evaluates the expression displayed in the name column and places the result in this column. If the expression is a variable or register name, you can edit the value in this column to change the contents of the variable or register. You cannot edit the value of const variable. You can edit and display the register values for the native code application only. The next is the breakpoints and the trace points. The breakpoints tells the debugger that an application should break, pause, execution at a certain point. When a break occurs, your program and the debugger are set to be in a break mode. Trace points are a new debugger feature in Visual Studio. A trace point is a breakpoint with a custom action associated with it. When a trace point is hit, the debugger performs the specified trace point action instead of or in addition to breaking program. Let's see how to set a simple breakpoint. To set a simple breakpoint from the shortcut menu in a source window, right-click on a line of executable code where you want to set a breakpoint. In the shortcut menu, go to the breakpoint and choose the Insert Breakpoint. To set a simple breakpoint from the debug menu in a source window, click on a line of the executable code where you want to set a breakpoint. From the debug menu, choose the toggle breakpoint. There are the two ways. By using these ways, we can set the breakpoint. In today's lecture, we discuss the two concepts. The first one is the structured exception handling mechanism, and the second one is the tracing point. In the first concept, the structured exception handling mechanism, there are the three ways. By using the three statements, we can handle the exception. The first statement is the try catch end try, second is the try catch finally end try, and third one is the through statement. In the try catch end try, the try having the block of codes and catch will catch the errors which is occurred in the try block. In the tracing point, the first is the auto window, quick watch window, and breakpoint. These are the tracing points. By using these, we can enhance the programming skill.